You begin as one of thousands. Every year, tens of thousands of people dream about joining the Federal Bureau of Investigation. They imagine the badge, the authority, the responsibility of protecting a nation. But very few ever make it to the first step. Applications are filtered, backgrounds examined, qualifications tested. Most people never receive a response. Some are invited to interviews. Fewer still pass the physical tests, the psychological evaluations, and the security clearances. And then there are the ones who arrive at the academy. When you first step onto the training grounds in Virginia, you quickly realize this is not the world you imagined. The movies show dramatic arrests and heroic agents chasing criminals through city streets. The academy teaches something very different. Discipline, control, patience. Your days start before the sun rises. In the cold morning air, you run miles with other trainees through forest trails and training fields. Your muscles burn, your lungs struggle to keep pace, but no one stops. Instructors watch silently, noting every hesitation, every sign of weakness. Physical training is only the beginning. You spend hours on the firing range, learning to handle a firearm until the motion becomes automatic. At first your shots scatter across the target. Over time, they begin to tighten, grouping closer and closer to the center. Precision matters. In the field, hesitation or poor judgment can cost lives. Inside the classrooms, the training becomes even more intense. You study federal law, investigative procedure, evidence handling, interrogation techniques, surveillance strategy, and the complex legal standards that determine whether a case survives in court. Veteran agents stand in front of the room, telling stories you will never see on television. They talk about investigations that collapsed because someone skipped a step. They talk about informants whose identities were exposed because an agent made a careless mistake. They talk about operations that went wrong and the weight of knowing that someone paid the price. These are not stories meant to scare you. They are lessons meant to prepare you. Week after week, the pressure builds. Some trainees realize the life isn't what they expected. Others fail the demanding standards. Slowly, the class grows smaller. By the time graduation arrives, the group standing beside you is far smaller than the group that began the journey. You receive your badge and credentials. You shake hands with instructors who spent months pushing you to your limits. You are now an agent. But the truth is that the real training has only just begun. Your first assignment takes you to a field office somewhere in the country. There are dozens of them spread across the nation, each responsible for investigations within its region. You might imagine being assigned to a major case right away. That rarely happens. As the newest agent in the office, you are given the tasks no one else wants. Background investigations for security clearances. Routine interviews with neighbors and former employers. Small cases that require endless paperwork. It is not glamorous work. Many days are spent sitting in a parked car during surveillance operations, watching a building for hours while nothing happens. The job requires patience more than excitement. Other days you spend hours reviewing documents, bank records, emails, business filings, looking for patterns that might reveal fraud or corruption. Most investigations are slow, methodical, and detailed. They take months or even years to build. This is where you learn what the job truly is. Not action, investigation. Piece by piece, you begin to understand how cases come together. A suspicious financial transaction leads to another. A witness provides a small detail that connects to a larger pattern. Evidence accumulates until the picture becomes clear. Your work supports more experienced agents who handle complex investigations. You prepare reports, gather evidence, and follow instructions carefully. Mistakes happen. When they do, they are corrected quickly. Every report must be precise. Every action must follow procedure. A single misstep can give defense attorneys the opportunity to challenge an entire case. Over time, you grow more confident. Your interviews improve. Your reports become sharper. You start to recognize when a witness is hiding something, when a suspect is lying, when a detail in a document doesn't make sense. Years pass. Your investigations begin to produce results. Cases move through the courts. You testify before judges and juries, explaining the work that led to an arrest or indictment. Courtrooms are intimidating places for new agents. Defense attorneys examine every detail of your investigation, searching for errors. They question your judgment, your memory, even your credibility. The first time you testify, your heart races. But you learn to remain calm. Facts matter more than emotion. Evidence speaks louder than arguments. After several years, you are no longer the newest agent in the office. New recruits arrive, uncertain and inexperienced, just as you once were. Now you guide them, you show them how to conduct interviews, how to prepare reports, how to organize evidence so a case remains strong under scrutiny. Experience becomes your greatest asset. Some agents choose to remain in this role for the rest of their careers. They enjoy the investigations, the challenge of solving complex cases, the satisfaction of seeing justice served. Others choose a different path. Leadership. When you move into a supervisory role, the job changes completely. Instead of conducting investigations yourself, you manage a team of agents responsible for multiple cases at once. Your days become filled with meetings and decisions. You review investigative plans before operations begin. You ensure reports meet legal standards. You coordinate with prosecutors to prepare cases for court. Responsibility grows heavier. If an operation fails, the consequences reach your desk. If an agent makes a mistake, you must address it quickly. Leadership is not just about solving cases. It is about guiding people. Some agents struggle with the transition. Others discover they are well suited to it. Years later, opportunities arise to move even higher within the organization. Positions appear in larger offices or at headquarters in Washington. At that level, the focus shifts from individual cases to national priorities. Instead of investigating crimes directly, you help determine how resources are distributed across the country. Which threats demand immediate attention? Which programs require additional funding? The work becomes strategic. Decisions affect thousands of agents and countless investigations. Meetings involve senior officials from multiple agencies. Information flows from intelligence services, law enforcement partners, and government leaders. The responsibility grows with each promotion. Eventually, a small number of individuals reach the highest operational level beneath the agency's top leadership. They coordinate nationwide programs, oversee divisions responsible for counterterrorism, cybercrime, intelligence analysis, and organized crime investigations. Their decisions shape the direction of the entire institution. Above them stands the leadership responsible for guiding the agency's mission. The deputy director manages daily operations across field offices and headquarters divisions. Every major decision flows through that office. The job requires constant attention to emerging threats, national investigations, and internal management. And above that position is the role that represents the organization to the entire country. The director. Appointed by the President and confirmed by the Senate, the director leads tens of thousands of employees responsible for protecting national security and enforcing federal law. The position carries immense responsibility. The director must balance independence with accountability, ensuring investigations follow the law while maintaining trust in the justice system. Every major case, every national threat, every significant decision eventually reaches the director's desk. But very few who begin the journey ever reach that point. The path is long, demanding, and filled with sacrifices. Many agents discover their purpose along the way, solving cases, mentoring younger investigators, protecting communities from crime and corruption. For them, the badge represents more than authority. It represents service. Years of dedication, long hours, and difficult choices shape the lives of those who remain in the profession. Families adapt to unpredictable schedules. Personal time becomes limited. The work often follows agents home in ways they never expected. Yet those who stay rarely regret the decision, because the mission remains larger than any individual career. Every investigation protects someone. Every solved case prevents future harm. Every successful operation strengthens the rule of law. And at the end of a long career, when an agent finally steps away from the job, the badge represents decades spent protecting something bigger than themselves. The path may begin with thousands of hopeful applicants. But for those who remain through the years of training, investigations, and leadership responsibilities, the journey becomes more than a profession. It becomes a lifetime of service. I,